death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou think'st thou dost overthrow die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure, then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and soul's delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness dwell, and poppier charms can make us sleep as well and better than thy stroke. Why swell'st thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death thou shalt die.
I am but, as you would say, a cobbler.
What trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir. I hope I may use with good conscience. For I am indeed, sir, a mender to bad soul.
What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave? What trade?
What you
naughty knave?
Nay, sir, I beseech you, build out with me. Yet, if you be out, I can mend you.
What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thy saucy fellow!
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, sir, all I live with is the all. I meddle with no tradesman matters, no women's matters, but with the all. For I am indeed, sir, a surgeon. To old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them.
Thou art not in thy shop. Why dost thou leave these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to get myself into more work. To have them wear out their shoes. Well, and also to make holiday. Enjoy Caesar and his triumph!
What conquest brings he home?
A bunch!
What tributaries follow him to Rome to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheel?
Somebody get this man a drink.
You rocks! You stones! You worse than senseless thieves! Oh, you hard hearts! You cruel men of Rome! Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have appear? Have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds in her concave shores? Do you now put on your best attire? Do you now call out to holiday?
Fuck yeah, we do!
Do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Begone!
All right, easy. No fun police. Oh my God.
Go you down towards the capital. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You notice the feast of Lupercal.
'Tis no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. All about and drive the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers, plucked from Caesar's wings, will make him fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Caesar, speak!
Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course. Antonius?
Caesar, my lord.
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia, for, as our elders say, the Baron, touched in this holy chase, break off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out,
Caesar!
Who calls? Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than all the music cries Caesar. Speak! Caesar has turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bid you beware the Ides of March.
Set him before me, let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you, do.
I am not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. But let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus. I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I wont to have.
Be not deceived. If I have veiled my appearance, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number Cassius be you one, nor construe any further neglect than that poor Brutus who at war with himself forgets the show of love to other men.
And Brutus, I have much mistook your passions. By means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection by some other things.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eye, that you might see your shadow.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius?
Whoa, yeah! Caesar!
What is this shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye, do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For that the gods so speed me as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I was born as free as Caesar. So are you. We have both fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he has. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou now, Cassius, leap in with me into this angry flood?" Well, upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. But ere we could arrive to the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, as I, the tired Caesar, from the waves of Tiber. And this man has now become a god, and Cassius a wretched creature who must bend his body if Caesar carelessly but not on him. He had a fever once when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their colour fly, and that same eye whose bend doth all the world did lose its lustre. I did hear him groan. Aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titinius," as a sick girl.
Shout! I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why man he doth bestride the world like a colossus, while we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable grapes.
Enjoy.
Men at some time are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not within our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that he has grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. Then it is Rome indeed, and room enough when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once who would have brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning.
As they pass, pluck Casca by the sleeve.
Antonius! Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men in such as sleep o' nights. Young Cassius has a lean and hungry look. Such men are dangerous.
Oh, fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. Yet, if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the men I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he'd mocked himself and scorned his very spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this year is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of him.
You plucked me by the sleeve. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
Should I not then ask Casca what hath chanced?
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
And what was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that, too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
I, Mary, wast, and he put it by thrice. Every time gentler than of other, and at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shout it.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of those coronets. And, as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again. He put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by. And still as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned it and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh, for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
'Tis very like. He hath the falling sickness.
Caesar hath it not, but you and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do players in the theatre, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd, was glad he refused the crown. He plucked me ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of any occupation, if I would not have taken him at a word, I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And so he came, thus sad, away?
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that I'll ne'er look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news, too. Marullus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow this has grown to be. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I'll come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I'll wait up for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes. For who's so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night in several hands, and at his windows throw writings, as if they came from several citizens, all pertaining to the great likeness that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Good evening, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless? And why stare you so?
Are not you moved when all the sway of earth shakes like a thing unfirm? O Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have rived the knotty oaks, and I have seen the ambitious ocean swell and rage and foam to be exalted with the threatening clouds. But never till tonight, never till now did I go through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world, too saucy with the gods, incenses them to send destruction.
Saw you anything more wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. Besides, I had not since put up my sword. Against the Capitol I met a lion, who glared upon me and went surly by without annoying me. And there were drawn upon a heap 100 ghastly women, transformed with their fear, who swore they saw men all in fire walk up and down the streets. And yesterday, the bird of night did sit upon the marketplace even at noonday, hooting and shrieking. When these prodigies do so conjointly meet, let not men say these are their reasons, they are natural. For I believe they are pretentious things unto the climate they point upon.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time, but men may construe things after their fashion, clean from the purpose of the things themselves. Come Caesar to the Capitol tomorrow. Huh?
He doth, for he did bid Antonius send word to he would be there tomorrow.
Farewell then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not to walk in.
Farewell, Cicero.
Who's there?
A Roman?
Casca, by your horse.
Cassius! What night is this?
A very pleasing night to honest men.
Who ever knew the heavens menace so?
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life that should be in a Roman you do want, or else you use not. Now, could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night, that thunders, lightens, and roars as the lion doth in the Capitol? A man no mightier than thyself and me in personal action, yet prodigious grown, and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. For Romans now have thews and limbs, like unto their ancestors, but all the while, our fathers' minds are dead. We are governed by our mother's spirits.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king.
I know where I will wear this weapon then. Cassius from bondage will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. I know this. Know all the world besides that part of tyranny that I do bear, and I can shake off at pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
And why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man, I know he not be a lion, but not he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, not Romans' hinds. What trash is Rome? What rubbish and what awful when it serves as a base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar.
Stay with me, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a very bargain made. Now, know you, Casca, I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable dangerous consequence. And I do know by this that they stay for me at Pompey's porch.
Stand close a while, for here comes one in haste.
To Cinna, I know him by his gait, he's a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
To find out you. And who's this? Metellus Cimber?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our attempts. Am I not stayed for?
I am glad on't. What a fearful night is this. 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for, Cinna? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win the noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, good Cinna. Take this paper, and look you lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Set it up with wax upon old Brutus' statue. All that done, head to Pompey's porch. Is Decius, Brutus, and Trebonius there?
All but Metellus Cimber, and he's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hie and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That done, prepare to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet ere day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
What, Lucius? Ho! I cannot by the progress of the stars give guess how near today. Lucius, I say! I would it were my fault to sleep so soundly. When, Lucius, when? Awake, I say! What, Lucius?
Called you, my lord?
Get me a taper in my study. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
Farewell, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him. But for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It is the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him, that. And then I grant, we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is, when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affection swayed him more than his reason. But 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his head. But when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning at the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may. Then, lest he may, prevent. And since the quarrel will bear no colour for the thing he is, fashion it thus, that what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities. And therefore, think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would, as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this letter here, thus sealed up, and I am sure did not lie there when I went to bed.
Is not tomorrow, boy, the Ides of March?
I know not, sir.
Look in the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc. speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest. Awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I have took them up. Shall Rome, etc. Thus I must piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the Tarquin drive when he was called king. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 14 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate, somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasma or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, like to a little kingdom, suffers then the nature of an insurrection.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Good morrow, Brutus. Do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. Know I these men that come along with you?
Yes, every man of them. And no one here but honors you. And everyone doth wish you had that same opinion of yourself, which every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
He is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
He is welcome too.
This Casca, this Cinna, this Metellus, Cimber.
They are all welcome. Give me your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear a resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time's abuse. If these be motives weak, then break off betimes, and every man hence to his idle bed, so that high-sided tyranny rage on. To think that, or our cause, or our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Should we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Let us not leave him out.
No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him. For his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said, his judgment ruled our hands. Our youth and wildness shall know it appear, but I'll be buried in his gravity.
Oh, name him not. Let us not break with him, for he will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved by Caesar, should outlive Caesar.
Our course will seem too bloody, Caius Cassius. To cut the head off, then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy afterwards, for Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Caius. We all stand against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we could then come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar! But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him, for the engrafted love
Alas, good Cassius, do not think of him.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace. Count the clock.
The clock hath stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no, for he is superstitious grown of late.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated him for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you have thought of him.
Now, good Metellus, go along by him. He loves me well, and I have given him reasons.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, good Brutus. And friends, disperse yourselves, but all remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen, look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear it as our Roman actors do, with untired spirits and formal constancy. Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your weak condition thus to commit your health to the raw, cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across, and when I'd ask you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. Yet I urged you further, and you scratched your head and stamped too impatiently with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you'd answer not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave. So I did. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. And could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed upon your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health. That is all.
Brutus is wise, and if he were not in health, he would accept the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the cold morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed and dare the vile contagions of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, and by that vow of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one that you unfold to me, yourself, your half, why you are so heavy, and which men tonight did resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need, if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bonds of marriage, tell me, Brutus, should I know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I you, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and speak with you sometimes? Well, I, but in the suburbs of your good pleasure. For if it be so, then Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife.
If this be true, then I should know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to marry. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed. Cato's daughter, think you I am no stronger than my sex? I have shown strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets.
Oh, ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife, Portia. Go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of mine heart.
O Constancy, be strong upon my side. Set a huge mountain between my heart and tongue. Oh, how weak a thing the heart of a woman is.
Oh, nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight. Thrice hath Calpurnia in her sleep cried out, "Help, ho, they murder Caesar!" Who's there?
My lord?
Go, bid the priests do present sacrifice, and bring me their opinions of success.
I will, my lord.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me ne'er look but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are vanished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies yet. Now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadron and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the capital. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall forth, for these things are to the world in general as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I've heard and seen, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What say the augurs?
They would not have you to stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods do this in shame of cowardice! Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions littered in one day, and I the elder, and more terrible, and Caesar shall forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I'm not well. And for thy humor, I will stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail! Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to tell the senators I will not come today. Cannot is false and dare not falser. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell greybeards the truth? No, Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight that she did see my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I shall stay at home today.
This dream is all a misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Bring me my robe, for I will go.
Beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Cimber. Decius Brutus loves thee not. Thou have wronged Caius Ligarius. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. Here will I stand till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou read this, O Caesar, thou mayest live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail Caesar, read this schedule.
Trebonius doth desire you to o'erread at your best leisure this, his humble suit.
Caesar, read mine first, for mine's a suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What, is the fellow mad? What, urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the capital. Trebonius knows his time. For look you, Brutus, he draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Cimber? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar.
He is addressed. Press near and second him.
Casca, your hand is the first that rears.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, Metellus Cimber throws before thyself.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon. As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved, if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and each one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the world. 'Tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood, and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he! Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Great Caesar.
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Oh, Caesar!
Hands! Wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Speak! Hands for me!
Brutus! It's too Brutus. Then full Caesar.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence! Proclaim it about the streets!
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid.
Where's Mark Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, children stare, cry out, and run, as it were doomsday.
Fates, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, this we know. 'Tis but the time and drawing days out that men stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that. And then is death the benefit? So are we Caesar's friends that have abridged his time of fearing death? Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood. Then walk we forth, even to the marketplace, waving our red weapons o'er our heads. Let us all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence will this our lofty scene be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, that now on Pompey's basis lies along no worthier than the dust? But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place shall please me so, no mean of death as here by Caesar, and by you cut off the choice and master spirits of this age.
Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, our hearts you see not, for they are pitiful, and pity for the general wrong of Rome, as fire drives out fire. So pity hath done this deed on Caesar. And for your part, to you our swords have leaden points, Mark Antony.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man for the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude, besides themselves with fear. Then we will deliver you the cause that why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hands. First Marcus Brutus. Next, Caius Cassius, do I mark your hands? Now Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. Though last, not last in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen, all. Alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me. Either a coward or a flatterer. Oh, that I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thine enemies. Pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bathed, brave heart. Here didst thou fall. And here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil and crimsoned in thy lead. Like a deer struck by many princes, dost thou here lie.
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you have with us?
Therefore, I took your hands, but was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you all and love you all? upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am moreover suitor that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you? You know not what you do. Do not consent.
I will myself into the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, you shall not in your speech blame us. Speak all good you can devise of Caesar, and say you do it by our permission.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood! Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants courted with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side come hot from hell, shall in these confines, with a monarch's voice, cry havoc! And let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men, groaning for burial.
Believe me, for mine honor.
What honor?
And have respect for mine honor, that you may believe. Censor me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. But Brutus was against Caesar. This is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. I'd rather Caesar were living to die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men. As Caesar did love me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? if any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be Roman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so vile that would not love his country? If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for reply.
No one, Brutus.
No one. But none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus.
Never.
Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no part in his dying, shall receive the benefit of it, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself when my country need my death.
No!
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Caesar's better parts shall be crowned in Brutus.
Let him be Caesar!
Yes.
Brutus!
My countrymen!
Silence, Brutus speaks.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Mark Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speeches tending to Caesar's glories. I do entreat you, not a man depart save I alone till Antony have spoke.
Let's
Stay
go.
here.
You gentle Romans! Friends! Romans! Countrymen, lend me your ears! I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him.
You better not.
Yeah.
The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often tarred with their bones.
What good?
Let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. And so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor hath cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented Caesar with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse.
It's true.
Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his saying.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
He masters, I fear a worse will come in his place.
Mark ye his words, he would not take the crown. Therefore, to certain he wasn't ambitious.
Exactly.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There is not a nobler man in Rome than Caesar.
Mark him, he begins to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I wrong such honorable men.
Do them wrong.
Wait.
But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will.
Let's read it.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it.
Why not?
It is not meet. You know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men, and being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad.
Make us mad.
Tis good you know not you are his heirs. Well, what would come of it? Will you be patient? Will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
Murderous villain!
You will compel me then to read the will.
Yes.
Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Oh no, press not so upon me. Stand far off. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle.
Yes.
I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervii.
A glorious day for Rome.
Yes, a victory.
Look. In this place ran Cassius' weapon through. See what a wrench the envious Casca made?
Murder! Villains!
Through this, the well-beloved Brutus struck. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Show you gods how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. But when the noble Caesar saw him strike, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Say, countrymen!
Peace! Hear Mark Antony! We'll hear him, we'll follow him, we'll die with him.
Yes.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man.
Like us.
For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, Pour them mouths and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony that would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise in mutiny. Yet hear me speak. Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of. Here is the will. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. 75? Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you, and to your heirs forever.
Forever?
Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Windows, forms, anything!
Now let it work. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
I dreamt tonight that I did feast with Caesar, and things unlucky charge my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, and yet something leads me forth.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
I and wisely.
I and truly you were best.
What is my name? Where am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? And to answer every man, briefly and truly and wisely and directly and wisely I say, yes, I'm a bachelor.
That is as much as to say they are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I go to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
That matter is answered directly.
For your dwelling, briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
And your name, sir, truly?
Truly, my name is Cinna.
Cinna!
Cinna the poet!
Tear him for his bad verses! Tear him!
Tear him! Get out of the Caesar!
Pluck his name from his heart and turn him going!
Tear him! Come! Grab fire from Brutus to Cassius' burn! Oh!
These many then shall die. Their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Lepidus.
I do consent.
Mark him down, Antony.
Upon condition Publius shall not live. Who is your sister's son, Mark Antony?
He shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But Lepidus, go you to Caesar's house, fetch the will hither.
What? Shall I find you here?
Or here. Or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable man, meet to be sent on errands. Now, is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you thought him, and took his voice who should be marked to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Oh, Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honors on this man to ease ourselves of divers slanderous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius. And for that I do appoint him store of provender. And now, Octavius, listen. Great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head.
Then let us do so. For we are at the stake and bait about with many enemies. And some that smile have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardinians, wherein my letters praying on his side because I knew the man were slighted off.
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
In a time such as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and mart your offices for gold to underservers.
I, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that you speak this, or by the gods this speech would else be your last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March. The Ides of March remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? What villain touched his body that did stab and not for justice? What, shall one of us that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers, shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes? I had rather be a dog and bay the moon than such a Roman.
Brutus, bay not me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am a soldier. I, older than yourself, abler in practice to make conditions.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more, I shall forget myself.
Away, slight man.
Is possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash choler? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods. Ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? I, more, fret till your proud heart break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? Oh, from this day forth, I'll use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Does it come to this?
You say you are a better soldier? Let it appear so. Make your vaunting true.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an elder soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lives, he durst not thus have moved me.
Peace, peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
What, durst not?
No.
I durst not tempt him.
For your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for! There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. For I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash. By any indirection, I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so?
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not till you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
Yeah, a friendly eye could never see such faults.
Flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Oh, come, Antony. Come, young Octavius, come. Revenge yourselves alone on Cassius. For Cassius is aweary of the world, hated by the one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all his faults observed, set in a notebook, learned, and coned by rote to cast into my teeth. Oh, I could weep my spirit from thine eyes. There is my weapon. Here, my naked breast. Within it, a heart dearer than Plutus is mine, richer than gold. If thou beest a Roman, take it forth. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Strike as thou didst at Caesar. For I know, when thou didst hate him worse, thou lovest him better ever than thou lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him?
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
Do you confess so much? Give me your hand.
And my heart too.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick of many griefs.
Your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Ah. Portia.
She is dead.
How scoped I killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss, upon what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and grief that young Octavius and Mark Antony have made themselves so strong, for with her death that tidings came. With this she fell distract, and her attendants absent swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods!
Speak no more of her. Get me a bowl of wine! In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
Fill to the wine or swell the cup, for I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Welcome, good Messala. Now sit we close about this taper here and call in question our necessities.
Portia, art thou gone?
Speak no more of her. Messala, I have here received letters that young Octavius and Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition toward Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that died, Cicero being one.
Cicero one?
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription. Had you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Messala.
Nor nothing in your letters rid of her?
Nothing, Messala.
That, methinks, is strange.
Why ask you? Hear you aught of her and yours?
Oh no, my lord.
Now, as you are a Roman, tell me true.
Then, like a Roman, bear the truth I tell. For certain she is dead, and by strange manner.
Why, farewell, Portia. We must die, Messala. And meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great men great losses should endure.
I have as much of this in art as you, but yet my nature could not bear it so.
Well, to our work alive. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give place to better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection, for they have grudged us contribution. The enemy marching along by them shall make a fuller number up, come on refreshed, new added, and encouraged. From which advantage shall we cut him off, if we do meet him there at Philippi, these people at our backs?
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note beside that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is ripe, the enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on to fortune. Amid all the voyages of their life are bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a high sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures.
Then, with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi. Good night, my lord.
Good night, good brother.
Good night, Lord Brutus.
Lucius, where is thy instrument?
Here in the tent.
What, thou speakest drowsily? Poor knave, I blame thee not. Thou art o'erwatched. Call Varro and some of my other men. I'll have them sleep on the cushions inside my tent.
Varro and Claudius.
Calls my lord.
I pray you, sirs, lie in my tent and sleep.
So please you, we will stand and watch your pleasure.
I will not have it so. Lie down, good sirs. Canst thou hold up thine heavy eyes a while and touch thine instrument a strain or two?
Aye, my lord. Can it please you?
It does, my boy. I trouble thee too much, but thou art willing.
It is my duty, sir.
I should not urge thy duty past thy might. I know young bloods look for a time of rest.
I have slept, my lord, already.
'Twas well done, and you shall sleep again. I'll not hold thee long. If I do live, I will be good to thee.
Fly, envious time, till thou runneth thy race. Call on the lazy lad in stepping hours, whose speed is but the heavy plummet's pace. And glut thyself with what thy wound devours, which is no more than what is false and vain, and merely mortal draws. So little is our loss, so little is thy gain. For when, as each thing that thou hast entombed, and last of all thy greedy self consumed, then long eternity shall greet our bliss with an individual kiss, and joy shall overtake us as a flood, when everything that is sincerely good and perfectly divine, with truth and peace and love, shall shine about the supreme throne of Him whose happy making sigh alone, when once our heavenly guided soul shall climb, then all this earthly grossness quit. A shine with stars we shall forever sit, triumphing over death and chance and thee on time.
This is a sleepy tune. O murderous slumber, layest thou thy leaden mace upon my boy that plays thee music? Gentle knave, good night. Oh, if thou dost not, thou breakest thy instrument. I'll take it from thee. And good boy, good night. Let me see. Is not the leaf turned down where I left reading? Ah, here it is. How ill this taper burns. Ha! Who comes here? I think it is the weakness of mine eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Art thou anything? Art thou some god? Some angel or some devil that makes my blood run cold and my hair to stare? Speak to me, what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
To tell thee, thou shalt see me at Philippi.
Why, I shall see thee again.
Aye. At Philippi.
Why, I shall see thee at Philippi then. Now I have taken heart, thou vanishest, ill spirit. I would hold more talk with thee. Boy! Lucius! Varro! Claudius! Sirs, awake! Claudius!
Things, my lord, are false.
Do you think he is still at his instrument? Lucius, awake!
My lord?
Didst thou dream, Lucius, that thou so criest out in thy sleep?
My lord, I do not know that I did cry.
Yes, that thou didst. Didst thou see anything?
Nothing, my lord.
Sleep again, Lucius! Sirrah! Claudius! Fellow, thou awake!
My lord?
My lord? Didst thou dream anything, sirs, that thou so criest out?
Did we, my lord?
I. Saw you anything?
No, sir, I saw nothing.
Nor I, my lord. Go and commend me to my brother Cassius. Bid him set on his powers betimes before, and we shall follow.
It shall be done, my lord.
Now, Antony, our prayers are answered. You said the enemy would not come down, but keep to the hills and upper regions. It proves not so. Their battles are at hand. They mean to warn us at Philippi here, answering of us before we do demand of them.
Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
Upon the right hand, I. Keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigent?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
Why now? Blow wind, swell, bellow, and swim bark. The storm is up and all is on the hazard.
Ho, Lucilius, hark, a word with you.
My lord.
Messala.
What says my general?
Messala, this is my birthday. As this very day was Cassius born. Be thou my witness against my will. As Pompey was, am I compelled to set against one battle all our liberties. You know that I held Epicurus strong in his opinion. Now I change my mind, and partly credit things that do his presage. Coming from Sardis upon our former ensign, 2 mighty eagles fell, and there they sat, perched, gorging and feeding from our soldiers' hands, who to Philippi here constorted us. This morning they are fled away and gone, and in their steads do ravens, crows, and kites fly o'er our heads and downward look on us as we are sickly prey. Their shadow casts a canopy most fatal under which our army lies. ready to give up the ghost.
Believe not so.
I but believe it partly, for I am fresh of spirit and resolved to meet all perils very constantly. Now, most noble Brutus, the gods today stand friendly with us, that we may, lovers in peace, lead on our days to age. But since the affairs of men still rest uncertain, let's reason with the worst that may befall. If we do lose this battle, then is this the last time we shall speak together? What are you then determined to do?
Even by the rule of that philosophy, by which I did blame Cato for the death he did give himself. I know not how, but I do find it cowardly and vile, for fear of what might fall, to stay the time of life, arming ourselves with patience, to stay the providence of some high powers that govern us below.
Then if we do lose this battle, you are then contented to be led in triumph to the streets of Rome?
No, Cassius, no. Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus will go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must end the works the Ides of March begun. Whether we shall meet again I know not. So this everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we do meet again, why we shall smile. But 'tis true this parting was well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting was well made.
Why, lead on then. Oh, that a man might know this day's end ere it come! But it sufficeth to know that the day will end, and then the end is known. Come ho! Away!
Oh, look, Titinius, look! The villains fly! Myself after mine own turned enemy. This ensign here of mine was turning back. I did slew the coward and take it from him.
Oh, Cassius, Brutus gave the word too early, who having some advantage on Octavius took it too eagerly. His soldiers fell to spoil, whilst we by Antony are all enclosed.
Fly further off, my lord, fly further off. Mark Antony is in your tents, my lord. There, fly therefore, noble Cassius, fly far off.
This hill is far enough. Oh, look, Titinius, are those the tents where I perceive the fire?
They are, my lord.
Titinius, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him, till he hath brought thee up to yonder troops and back, that I may rest assured whether yonder troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
This day I breathed first. Time has come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Titinius is closed round about with horsemen that make to him on the spur, yet he spurs on. Now they're almost on him. Now some light! Oh, he lights too! He's taken! And hark! They shout for joy. Oh, coward that I am. To live so long to see my best friend taken before my face. This good sword that ran through Caesar's bowels. Search this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here, take thou the hilts. And when my face is covered as 'tis now, guide thou the sword. Caesar, thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
It has been changed, Titinius, for Octavius is overthrown by noble British power, as Cassius' legions are by Antony.
These tidings will well comfort Cassius.
Where did you leave him?
Is not that he that lies upon the ground?
He lies not like the living.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Messala, but Cassius is no more. O setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius's day is set. The sun of Rome is set, our day is gone. Clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust of my success hath done this deed.
I go to meet the noble Brutus, thrusting this report into his ears. I may say thrusting, for piercing steel and darts and venom it shall be as welcome to the ears of Brutus as tidings of this sight.
Why didst thou send me forth, brave Cassius? Did I not meet thy friends? And did not they put on my brow this wreath of victory and bid me give it thee? Didst thou not hear their shouts? Alas, thou hast misconstrued everything. But hold thee. Take this garland on thy brow. Thy Brutus bid me give it thee, and I will do his bidding. Come apace, Brutus, and see how I regarded Caius Cassius. By your leave, gods, this is a Roman's part. Come, Cassius's sword, and find Titinius's heart.
Where, Messala, does his body lie? Oh, yonder in Titinius mourning, and
Titinius' face is upward.
he is slain.
Oh, Julius Caesar, thou art mighty yet. Thy spirit walks abroad and turns our swords on our own proper entrails.
Brave Titinius, look whether he have not crowned dead Cassius.
Is yet a Roman living such as thee? To the last of all, the Romans fare thee well. It is impossible that Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I shall find time, Cassius. I shall find time.
Yes! Oh, yes, countrymen! Hold up your heads!
What bastard doth not? Who will go with me? I will proclaim my name about the field. I am the son of Marcus Cato, a foe to tyrants and my country's friend. I am the son of Marcus Cato. And I am Brutus. Marcus Brutus, I, my country's friend, know me for Brutus. Oh, young and noble Cato, art thou down? And now thou diest as bravely as Titinius, and mayst be honored being Cato's son.
Yield, or thou diest.
Only I yield to die. There is so much that thou wilt kill me straight. Kill Brutus, and be honored in his death.
We must not. A noble prisoner.
Tell Mark Antony Brutus is taken.
I'll tell the news.
Here comes the general. My lord, Brutus is taken. Brutus is taken.
Where is he?
Safe. Antony, Brutus is safe enough. I dare assure thee that no man shall ever take alive the noble Brutus. The gods save him from so grave an end. When you do find him, or alive or dead, you will find him like Brutus, like himself.
This is not Brutus, friend. But I assure you a prize no less in worth. Keep this man safe. Give him all kindness. I'd rather have such men my friends than enemies.
Keep going, fly! Our remains of friends rest on this rock.
Statilius showed the torchlight, but, my lord, he comes not back. He's or taken or slain.
Sit thee down, Clytus. Slaying is the word. It is a deed in fashion. Hark thee, Lepidus.
What, I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
Peace then, no words.
I'll rather kill myself.
Hark thee, Dardanius.
Shall I do such a deed?
Oh, Dardanius.
Oh, Clitus.
What ill request does Brutus make to thee?
To kill him, Clitus. Look, he meditates.
Now is that noble vessel full of grief, that it runs over even at his eyes.
Come hither, good Volumnius, list a word.
What says my lord?
Or this, Volumnius. The ghost of Caesar hath appeared to me several times by night. At Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my
Nay,
lord.
I am sure it is. Thou seest the world, Volumnius, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. I prithee, good Volumnius, holdest thou my sword hilt whilst I run on it?
That's not an office for a friend, my lord.
Fly, fly, my lord, there is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you, good Volumnius. Countrymen, my heart doth joy that yet in all my life I found no man but he was true to me. I shall have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Mark Antony by this vile conquest shall attain unto. My tains upon mine eyes, my bones would rest that have but labored to attain this hour.
Come, countrymen! One more push!
Go, go, go! Fly, my lord, fly! Hence, I will follow. Caesar, now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
My master. For Brutus only overcame himself, and no man else hath honor by his death.
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only in a general, honest thought and common good to all made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his virtues let us use him, with all respects and rights of burial. Within my tent his bones tonight shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So call the field to rest, and let's away to part the glories of this happy day.